Hi there. I'm going to share a small section under my latest book, Practical Call Center Job Hunting Strategies, a shy person's guide on how to get hired in a call center. So if you're interested in the book, you can just check the description below. And if you enjoy this video, just hit the like button or the thumbs up, and that helps my channel greatly. In today's session, we are going to talk about a lesson under attributes call center companies are looking for. So let's talk about how I failed college English. I failed college English, and as a consequence, I had to stop going to school. And, there, I said it. This happened in 2003, but I had to leave college in 2004, but this is all old news. And I'm recording this video in 2021, and I did other things with my life. And you might be wondering, why are we going back to this part? We're going back to this part because every disaster that happens to us comes with a power up. We are going back in time to collect that power up. So in case this is your first time listening to me, I'm just going to give you a short background. Kevin Olega has a reputation for having poor communication skills. Kevin has had poor communication skills from childhood to college. When Kevin turned 18, his poor communication skills got him kicked out of school, so he had to fend for himself and start working. Kevin worked in the mall as a promodizer and eventually worked as a real estate salesperson. Kevin also worked as a financial product salesperson. So Kevin worked in a call center school, a Korean English academy, and conducted one-on-one tutorials for extra income. Kevin later worked in corporate sales and the BPO industry. In 2008, Kevin spent his free time learning how to write, and in 2016, Kevin began working as a professional writer. He also accepted a job to work as a virtual assistant and eventually got promoted to project manager. Kevin had a reputation for having poor communication skills but spent most of his career working jobs where higher level communication skills are the primary requirement. So I'm just going to stop right here. It looks like I just copied my about section here because, the best way to give you the background is like this is how I introduce myself in the websites. I use the third person. So, yeah. So I'm Kevin, by the way. I'm not talking about another person. I'm talking about myself. And that's me. I've had poor communication skills for a long time. But the funny thing is I ended up working at jobs that required higher level communication skills. So, how I got to my higher paying jobs or my communication heavy jobs is another story. But right now, we are going to talk about how Kevin failed college English. So, here's how. So back when I was younger, I'm fairly good at grammar rules, and I can even string compound complex sentences without a lot of effort. I have an extensive vocabulary. I love learning. I also consumed 95 to 98% English media growing up. So most of the things I saw and read and watched are English media. So I read books, I read comic books, I read English magazines, I played games, I watched TV shows, I watched English movies, and I read a lot of things in English. I have friends and family who speak English all the time. So I talk to my English speaking friends and family whenever possible. So what's the problem? In the previous college English subject, the instructor discussed the lessons, we had quizzes, and we had exams. So this was in the first term of college. Um, we discussed the lessons, we had quizzes, we had exams, very much like high school. So in the first trimester of my first year in college, the English subject is very much like high school English, so I passed. In the next trimester, my Com Art 102, we were graded based on completing subjects. All right? We were graded based on completing subjects, and we were given almost complete freedom to work on our projects. And so the teacher comes in, we have a short discussion. The instructor gives the professor gives us reading materials, gives us instructions on what to do, what to study, and we are given a lot of free time. Our school has a vast library and unlimited high-speed internet access. So I studied college at the time when internet wasn't generally unlimited, and internet was slow where I lived. So yeah, the internet that we had at the library was overwhelming for me, for a first time lover of tech who gets internet access for the first time. Like, that's all I'm doing. So let me just continue. I'm going to read and then I'm going to explain. So that's my first time having access to those resources. I picked a topic close to my heart. I picked martial arts. The instructor approved my topic. So what's the problem? The scope of my topic was too big. I spent too much time reading online. I tried to write something that sounded long and intelligent. I gathered a lot of info, but failed to compose something that can easily be understood. I wasn't writing anything down. I depended on my memory for everything. I ended up spending half a day trying to decide what to do next. I'm so exhausted, I finished none of my tasks that day. My mind was slowly breaking down. I was being overwhelmed. On top of that, I was researching unrelated topics. I spent the entire trimester distracted and eventually panicking. When the deadline arrived, my work was unfinished. I probably wrote 15% of the entire thing. My work was garbage. The project was difficult to understand. My instructor had no choice but to fail me. In order for me to succeed in the future, I went back to this memory to find what I did wrong. So here's what changed. I started writing notes. I started focusing on smaller projects. Excuse me. No big projects for me. I log out of Facebook as often as I can. I say no to a lot of distractions. And every now and then, I have to take a big project out of necessity. But whenever I take a big project, I break down most projects into tiny parts. The younger me loved the things that I love with a passion. The younger me spent a lot of time studying martial arts, video games, books, and movies. The younger me also spent a lot of time with friends. I got to focus when I ignore entertainment and people. So, this is one of the lessons. You gain focus when you ignore entertainment and people. And it seems to me like boredom increases creativity. And now I schedule my entertainment once a week instead of daily. So instead of watching TV every day, I watch TV during weekends. And this advice is hard to follow. Like, I'm gonna be blunt. This advice is difficult to follow. But this is the only way for me to do what I need to do. And I'm 34 when I wrote this lesson. I'm 35 now, and I still completely agree with this lesson. Some people can stay away from entertainment effortlessly. I know people like that. Are you that kind of person? Because if the answer is no, then you know you need to put in a lot of effort to staying away from entertainment. So, in my case, I'm still trying to work on that. And in fact, a year after I wrote this lesson, I still struggle with, I still struggle with staying away from entertainment. And, I'll stop here and I'll get back to you as I try to farm more lessons. Now, I have a question for you. Do you have a similar experience? Did you fail? Um, I don't know, college, high school, maybe work. Did you fail because you put entertainment ahead of your priorities? Did you watch more TV or enjoy the internet a little too much that you forgot to do what you needed to do? That's one of the lessons, and I'm grateful for the fact that I am where I am right now. It's just that if you have the time, if I could go back in time, I would spend more time studying. I would have maybe completed another year in college because that would have been very helpful. And if I could push myself back in time, I would have finished college. And I it's a funny story. I left college, but I ended up studying all of the subjects anyway. I my course was business management. We also had some IT subjects, and I ended up studying different aspects of business. I ended up studying uh, programming, and like right now, it's a continuous study for me. And I bet it'd be a lot easier if I learned the principles earlier. My life would be a lot easier now if I had these tools. It's just that I'm pretty sure that at the time when I was younger, I did not understand the value of what I was learning. And that's the thing. If you're listening to me, chances are you have some regrets, you know? Like people are attracted to the people like them, and you might be listening to me because you have the same problems as I do. And you know, I have some solutions, and my solution is to start writing notes, start focusing on smaller projects, say no to entertainment, say no to distractions, say no to people who distract you. There's that. But if you have the opportunity, you know, if I could go back in time, just focus on your, like, you can say no to entertainment now. You can put in the work. You can study. You can get better. You can learn useful skills, and eventually, you can afford to entertain yourself without any worries, without any consequence. Just focus for now while you're young, while you still have the opportunity. Because life will be better if you work early. Life will be better if you put in the work. Anyway, I've shared too much personal advice. Thanks so much for listening. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and share this video with your friends. If you haven't already done so, join my email list. I share free lessons. Just hit the link in the description. And thanks so much. If you Thanks so much for uh, joining me in today's session. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.